Greetings, viewers. Here we are with the little ThinkPad netbook. I believe, if I remember right, yeah, it's upside down, but that's an X100e. Went ahead and I pulled the bottom off of it. I think it's got 4 gigs of RAM. Not too bad for a netbook, but it has this 320 gig Toshiba hard drive. I don't know if this is one of my drives or what this is, but I'm going to go ahead and take that out because I don't need 320 gigs of storage, and I have this Apacer 128 gig SSD just kind of sitting around doing absolutely nothing, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that in here and give that something to do. Well, screw that Apacer SSD. I have this Kingston SSD now. Still think that's a very funny name for an SSD. It's a little bit larger. I think it's also a little bit faster because it's a little bit newer. Oh, darn it, the face detection is on this camcorder. I'm going to turn that off, but I'm going to give this a try. So we'll just put that in here. It shouldn't be too difficult to do, he says, and apparently it's actually harder than it looks because I can't do this with one hand. There we go. Put that in place. Now I'll put the cover back on and I'll boot this thing up and reinstall the operating system. Okay, got it plugged in there. I've also got it on the network. Power it on. Press enter to interrupt normal startup. It just went straight into setup. I don't know how I feel about that. Ethernet option wrong, WiMAX and all that stuff is on. Always on USB mode. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Alright, well, is it date and time? Oh, the battery's dead. Alright, well, I'm going to have to set this up to my liking then, I suppose. Okay, so for some reason, system security password retry count exceeded. Press F1 and load default. Why? Load default, fine. I'll have to reset that because it's a piece of junk. Sometimes these business-grade computers are just crap, you know? Alright, let me go back and rechange everything the way that it's supposed to be. Okay, let's see if this stupid thing will actually boot now. Holy crap, it's actually trying to do something. Wow. Okay. Boot Linux. We're going to use Linux Mint. We're going to go back to Debian Edition. Well, we're actually up at LMDE 6 and 7 now, but I don't know. We'll just go ahead and install it. We'll choose number 5 and we'll see what happens. Let me see network activity. Hopefully it doesn't overheat this time. Huh, that took a long time to boot. Let's go ahead and run the installer, and hopefully it will actually run. Oh, here it comes. I think once I get this on the actual drive, it should be a lot faster, but this is kind of a slow system. Alright, let's go. English. Correct time zone. That is not even remotely close to the correct keyboard layout. Alright, just give me the standard layout. Next. I'll put in these details. Alright, it scared me for a second because the that disk came up as blank, but it turns out there is only one disk and it does see it, so it should be okay. Should be able to hit next. Yes, I'm going to wipe everything. Install the grub menu on SDA. There's really only one choice. Alright, go ahead and install. We'll see how long that takes. It is 12:08 a.m. right now. Normally it'd be a work night, but I actually have the day off. I'm getting my snow tires taken off the car, and that's probably a major mistake because it's supposed to snow for a lot of the next week. Well, I guess it could be worse, and the snow's not going to be too bad. Hopefully this is actually going to work. It is taking a long time and not moving on that creating partitions, though. So I don't know. Okay, so that was a fail, and it just shut down halfway through. So let's just try. Go to the latest release, which I have gone ahead and added. And we'll see if that will start. Okay, now that it's like an hour later, let's try again. See if maybe I can get it to work. Don't see any network activity. So I don't know if it picked up on my double-clicking that or not. I can tell that the theme is different, so it's definitely updated, and the heat output on this thing is impressive. I might have to set up a USB stick and just take this somewhere else. You know, it's not that hot in here or anything like that, but I don't know. Oh, now there's some network activity after I double-clicked it again. So I wonder if it just didn't recognize it the first time. Or if it's still messed up. I wonder if this is even gigabit. I kind of have to wonder about that. Or if this is just using some crappy TIM100 connection. It's the same installer, so I'm going to have to go through the same process all over again. And it still can't get the keyboard right. I wonder if it'll shut down halfway through the install again. Well, hopefully not. It's 12:51 now. Okay, so the other thing I did this time is I went in and I turned off all of the power management functionality as well. No suspend, no turning the display off, no anything. So hopefully this time it doesn't decide it's going to shut down halfway through the installation. In fact, actually it didn't even get halfway through the installation. It barely got a quarter of the way through, and it decided to blow up. Not keeping my hopes up, though. I think there's something wrong with this Linux distribution and this computer. I'll probably have to try something else. Alright. Pay no mind to the fact it says it's 5 in the morning. It's not. It's 1:25. And we'll hit yes to restart. Remove the installation medium and press enter to continue. Okay, well, I can't even see what it's doing because for some reason the new versions of Linux don't allow you to do that anymore. Hit the down arrow and see what it's doing, so... This is the part where everything goes off the rails. I am going to power it down forcibly because it's done as far as I'm concerned. And if this doesn't work, then I will know that it was lying to me. I think I'm going to have to change my boot order because I think it's booting to the PXE first. Yeah, it is. Oh, good for it. Okay. LMDE 7. Isn't autofocus great when you're trying to record a computer screen? It's honestly not really that much faster from the SSD than it was over the network. That's kind of sad, actually. X100e. No, we still can't see what it's doing. They've disabled that keyboard command. I don't know why. It wasn't really smart. I have no idea. I don't have a hard drive LED. I don't have anything on this. So I have no idea what it's doing. Well, it's 128 right now. I'm going to stop the camera and I'm going to let this thing fully boot and we'll see how long it takes. Okay, we're now at a desktop. It's 131. So I guess that wasn't terrible. And of course it's going to want to do all this extra crap. Don't show this dialogue. I'm actually connected to the Wi-Fi here. Give me a second. Okay, we're on the wireless. So I'm kind of curious here. See if that's... Nope, that command's not found. Well, that's annoying. Oh, there we go. Alright. Holy crap. Yeah. Just a little bit hot. Oh my goodness. 78 degrees. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and shut this down before I run any of the updates. I think we're pretty much done here anyway. Because it's running. I finally have an OS loaded on it. I think the other thing that I'd like to do with this before I do anything is I would like to take a backup just in case I have to re-image it. But I'm going to let the machine cool down before I do that. I'm not going to bore you with any of that. So we'll just shut it down. And that'll pretty much be that. Thank you for watching. And if you have any comments, feel free to leave them below. The fan is still running. Oh, actually, I think that's the fan for the machine underneath it, but it doesn't really matter.